You think you know Sacramento? Maybe you've driven past the Capitol building, or heck, you've even caught a Kings game. Maybe you've even Googled a few neighborhoods like East Sacramento or Land Park. But let me stop you right there, because what you think you know about Sacramento, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Living here is a completely different vibe, a mix of urban grit, family-friendly charm, and hidden gems that nobody's telling you about online. You're about to discover why so many people are moving here quietly from all over California and sticking around for the long haul. So buckle up, because this is a no-fluff, boots-on-the-ground guide to living in Sacramento, California.
Welcome to the channel. We're Lauren and Lance with the Living in Sacramento team, where we make videos about what it's like living in the greater Sacramento area. This video is your full, no fluff guide to life in Sacramento. We're breaking down everything you need to know, from neighborhoods to home prices to schools, weather, lifestyle, food, taxes, jobs, traffic, and yes, the heat. So whether you're seriously considering a move or you're just curious about what life looks like outside of the Bay Area or LA, this video is definitely going to be for you. So let's get into it.
Now let's start with the heartbeat of Sacramento. Its culture and lifestyle. This city is packed with contrast and character. Now you've got people who work in government during the week and front a rock band on the weekend. You've got people commuting in a suit to the Capitol building and stopping on the way home for some street tacos from a food truck with handwritten menu. That's the magic here, and it's not polished on purpose. It's real. Sacramento doesn't try to be LA or the Bay, and that's exactly why people fall in love with it. It's not curated or filtered, it's lived in, scrappy, and full of heart. From the warehouse galleries in Sacramento to the boutiques in Midtown, this place celebrates creativity in ways that feels inclusive and unpretentious. One of the things I personally love about Sacramento is how grounded it feels. For a capital city, it's shockingly down to earth. It's not corporate, it's not pretentious. It's backyard barbecues, block parties, coffee pop-up shops, and First Friday events. Whether you're into farmers markets, street art, vintage shops, or foodie pop-ups, you'll find your lane here. But the energy here, it's fresh. New people are moving in, restaurants are evolving, local coffee shops are packed with remote workers, neighborhoods like Oak Park, Curtis Park, and Boulevard Park are getting a second life. Sacramento is also the farm to fork capital of the country, and trust me, it's not just a slogan. We're surrounded by farmland. That means the peaches at your local market were picked yesterday. The steak on your plate came out from a ranch 30 miles away. Nearly every restaurant downtown rotates their menu with the seasons. You can literally taste the difference. Local chefs are teaming up with regional farms and wineries to create something that feels homegrown and inspired at the time. And speaking of taste, craft breweries have exploded here. You'll find them tucked away in industrial parks, inside of renovated gas stations, and next to tattoo shops in neighborhoods like Curtis Park and Oak Park, and even West Sacramento. There's this casual brewery crawl vibe that just feels good on weekend afternoons. Sacramento also shows up culturally. We've got monthly art walks in Midtown, mural festivals that transform alleyways, and cultural celebrations across the entire city. The Pacific Rim Festival, Juneteenth, the Japanese food and cultural bazaar, the Lunar Flower Fest in Little Saigon. This city knows how to celebrate its people. Even the people here, friendly, helpful, chill. You'll see dads coaching Little League in Elk Grove, college kids hammocking in Capitol Park, retirees biking through East Sac, and families shopping local and Sunday farmers markets under the freeway. There's a rhythm here that's intentional, relaxed, and real. So yeah, Sacramento has that real lived-in energy that's hard to explain until you're actually walking the neighborhoods, talking to the locals, and grabbing lunch at a spot that wasn't on Yelp. And if at any point during this video you're thinking, okay, I can see us in Sacramento, that's your sign to reach out. Seriously, don't try to figure this out by yourself. We help people relocate here every week from across California and out of state. We'll hop on a quick Zoom call, get to know what you're looking for, and break down the neighborhoods that match your lifestyle. That phone number should be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message. We would love to hear from you, hear your story, and help you find your place in the greater Sacramento metro area that's right for you. But hey, before we talk neighborhood and prices, let's talk about one of the biggest lifestyle perks about living here, and that's going to be the food scene, the local spots, the hidden gems that make Sacramento feel like home after just one bite.
All right, let's talk food, because Sacramento absolutely brings it. From street tacos and Southeast Asian comfort food to Michelin level fine dining and ultra fresh farmers market produce, this city is an absolute hit for food lovers. Now, we're not loud about it, but once you're here, you'll start to realize people in Sacramento know how to eat. The food scene is super diverse and incredibly local. You can eat like a foodie on a budget or go full luxury dining without it feeling stuffy. Whether it's a date night, Sunday brunch, or just grabbing takeout after work, you've got plenty of options. Some of our personal go-tos are bacon and butter, one of the best brunches in town. You might have to wait in line, but the lemon ricotta pancakes and eggs Benedict are absolutely worth it. Then you've got Cannon, a modern neighborhood spot in East Sac doing upscale seasonal food with serious style, perfect for date night or small plates with friends. And we can't forget about tacos. You've got Chando's Tacos, which is hands down the best street tacos in all of Sacramento. They're authentic, fast, and affordable. Their adobada is absolutely legendary. Now, another one of our favorites is Crew. Now, Crew is for high-end sushi lovers. You'll find innovative rolls and sashimi that would impress anyone coming from LA or San Francisco. Next up, you've got Osaka Ya, a more casual vibe, and during the summer, their shaved ice is a local favorite. You've also got places like Sellen's Market Cafe, super easy for weeknight dinners, great salads, entrees, pizza, and an awesome wine selection you can enjoy on the amazing patio. And we can't talk about restaurants in Sacramento without talking about Tower Cafe. It's iconic, definitely for a reason, and a huge French patio that's perfect for whenever family visits. And the coffee scene, so good. Whether you're working remotely or just vibing with a book, there are tons of third wave coffee spots to explore. Some of our favorites are Temple Coffee, which is definitely the gold standard in this area. You've also got places like Chocolate Fish, which does single origin coffee with precision. Then you've got Old Soul, which is known for its chill vibe and in-house roasting. Now let's talk about markets and events, because food isn't just something you eat here, it's a lifestyle. Every Saturday, you can head to Midtown Farmers Market, where there's over 100 vendors, live music, hot food, local produce, and so much energy. It's dog-friendly, family-friendly, and full of regulars. You'll start running into people you know every single week. Next up, we have the Farm to Fork Festival, which happens every single September. It's one of the biggest celebrations in the region. Restaurants, wineries, breweries, live chefs doing demos. It takes over Capitol Mall and brings in people from all over Northern California. We also have cool night markets in Little Saigon or Franklin Boulevard that are packed with street food stalls, pop-up vendors, and live music. Concerts in the park downtown bring out food trucks, beer gardens, and a big local crowd every single Friday night in the summer. You've got food truck festivals, wine walks, brew fest, dessert fairs. There's literally something going on almost every single weekend from spring to fall. And here's the thing, Sacramento eats like a much bigger city, but without all the chaos. The nice thing is you don't need a reservation 2 weeks out. You don't need to valet park. You just show up, enjoy the food, enjoy the people, and go home happy. That's what I love the most about it. It's accessible, authentic, and seriously delicious. Whether you're new in town or you've lived here for years, you'll never run out of amazing places to try.
All right, let's talk about neighborhoods, because in Sacramento, where you live really defines how you live. Each area has its own rhythm, its own energy, its own mix of pros and cons, and once you start to explore, you'll realize there's something here for just about every lifestyle and every budget. So let's start right in the heart of the city with Midtown Sacramento. If you want walkability, culture, nightlife, and the feeling that you're in the mix, this is it. You'll find historic Victorian homes, renovated bungalows, loft-style condos, and tree-lined streets filled with murals, bike racks, and you can grab coffee at Temple, brunch at Bacon and Butter, work remotely at Old Soul, hit a yoga class, walk to a Kings game, and then grab drinks, all without getting in your car. It's also the hub for Sacramento's creativity scene, second Saturday art walks, live music at small venues and street festivals throughout the year. If you want an urban lifestyle with character, Midtown is definitely going to be your vibe. Right next door to that is going to be East Sacramento, or East Sac as a lot of locals call it. This is one of the most prestigious and desirable neighborhoods in all of the city. We're talking about the Fab 40s, those wide tree canopy streets with historic mansions that have hosted everything from movie stars to presidents. But it's not all high end. East Sacramento also has some charming cottages, mid-century homes, and some of the best elementary schools in the region. It's walkable and peaceful, and it has that old money neighborhood feel, but with a strong sense of pride and community. People decorate big for the holidays, walk their dogs daily, and support local businesses like Sellen's, Bacon and Butter, and our favorite, Origami. Then there's Land Park and Curtis Park. I'm actually in Land Park right now, but both of these neighborhoods give you that vintage Sacramento charm. Land Park wraps around the Sacramento Zoo, fairy tale town, making it perfect for families with younger kids. There's also a lot of pride of ownership here, and you'll find meticulously maintained lawns, original hardwood floors, and neighbors who know each other by name. Now, Curtis Park just to the north has a slightly more artsy and bohemian feel. It's home to bungalow-style homes, friendly front porches, and local favorhoods like Gunther's Ice Cream and Pangea Beer Cafe. If you want character, this is where it lives. Next up, Pocket Greenhaven. This neighborhood is a bit of a hidden gem. It's tucked along the Sacramento River, just southwest of downtown. It's quiet, established, and really popular with a lot of retirees and move-up buyers or people who just want to be close to downtown, but not necessarily in downtown. Homes here were largely built in the 70s and 80s, so you are going to get bigger lots here, more space, and some really interesting architecture. Plus, one of my favorite things is going to be the river access. Great parks and strong sense of community vibes, and a price point that's often lower than Midtown or East Sacramento. Now let's talk Natomas. You guys ask us a lot of questions about Natomas, but this is one of the newer regions in the Sacramento. So it's going to be divided into North Natomas, which is going to be north of Interstate 80, and South Natomas, which is going to be south of Interstate 80. It's flat planned and full of newer construction, especially post 2000. It's got a lot of great parks, newer schools, bike paths, shopping centers, and this makes it a solid pick for first-time homebuyers or anyone wanting something a little bit newer with some lower maintenance. Now, this was an area that was really popular when the Sacramento Kings were playing over in Natomas at Arco Arena, but since then it's closed down. They're getting ready to do some different things with that building since they've moved to Golden 1. Now, the location here is going to be a huge win. You're just going to be 10 to 15 minutes from downtown Sacramento and maybe 10 minutes from the airport. So for anyone who travels a lot for work or who has a hybrid job, Natomas is going to offer a lot of great value. Now, if you want to head out to the surrounding suburbs, you've got the big six: Elk Grove, Folsom, Roseville, Rockland, Lincoln, El Dorado Hills. Here's a super quick breakdown, but we have featured a lot of these suburbs on the channel before. Elk Grove is going to be very family friendly, incredibly diverse, and known for a lot of the highest rated schools in the entire region. Tons of parks, sports leagues, newer master plan communities. Then you've got Roseville, suburban powerhouse, big shopping centers, highly rated schools, strong resale value in every big box store you can imagine. Rockland, similar to Roseville, but smaller and a little bit quieter. Still excellent schools, newer developments, and great for families. Then you've got Folsom, one of the hottest cities in the entire region. Historic charm, modern luxury, lakes, trails, top tech employers, high-end new construction. Then you got Lincoln. It's a little bit further out, bit more affordable, lots of new construction, open space, active adult communities like Sun City and Esplanade at Turkey Creek. El Dorado Hills, elevated living, literally. Hilltop homes, larger custom homes, and direct access to outdoor adventure. A little bit pricier, but you get a lifestyle to match it. We've actually filmed deep dives on all of these cities, so if you're getting serious about relocating, check out any of those videos. It'll give you a real feel of what life looks like on the ground level for each one of them. Bottom line, whether you want urban energy, historic charm, riverfront living, or top-tier suburban schools, there's a place in the Sacramento region that's going to match your lifestyle.
All right, this might be one of Sacramento's most underrated selling points. The outdoor lifestyle here is next level. One of the biggest surprises for people moving to Sacramento, especially from the Bay Area or Southern California, is just how much outdoor living you get access to year-round. And I'm not talking about driving 3 hours to get to it. I mean, right here in your backyard. If you're the kind of person who loves being outside, whether that's walking your dog, biking along the river, boating on the weekends, or skiing in the winter, you're gonna absolutely fall in love with this place. All right, let's start with the American River Parkway. It's honestly one of the best urban trail systems in the country. It's about 32 miles of paved and unpaved trails that stretch from downtown Sacramento all the way out past Folsom. You'll see people biking, jogging, paddleboarding, kayaking, walking dogs, pushing strollers, morning, noon, and even at sunset. And the vibe is peaceful. No rush, no chaos, just locals getting outside and enjoying where they live. Now, if you're more of a lake person, then Folsom Lake is definitely your summer spot. This is actually where I'm at right now. You can launch a boat, run a jet ski, paddleboard with your kids, or just throw down a towel and hang out on the beach. And for something quieter and more zen, you've got Lake Natoma. Just south of Folsom is perfect. It's glassy, calm, and great for kayaking, canoeing, rowing, or early morning stand-up paddling when the mist is still floating above the water. Want a little more adrenaline? You've got real whitewater rafting just 45 minutes east on the South Fork of the American River. Some of the best Class 3 rapids in all of California. Guides take you out, it's family friendly, and honestly, it's such a fun way to experience the Sierra foothills. And in the winter, you've got Tahoe. It's so close. We're literally talking 90 minutes to 2 hours from some of the best skiing and snowboarding in the entire country. You can hit awesome resorts like Palisades Tahoe, Sugar Bowl, Boreal, North Star, or just take the family sledding for the day and be home before dinner. It makes weekend adventures so doable. Now, if you're more into hiking or trail running, Sacramento is surrounded by trailheads. Head 30 to 45 minutes up to Auburn, Cool, or Lotus, and you'll find trails with river views, waterfalls, and elevation. Or drive a little further and you're in real Sierra Nevada terrain, perfect for day hikes, camping, or just unplugging for a bit. And let's not forget about the people who love to relax outdoors. If your outdoor living for you means wine tasting, patios, and scenic views, you're covered too. There are over dozens of wineries in El Dorado County alone, less than an hour from Midtown. You can also head to Amador or Lodi for an amazing glass of Zin. Now, these are family-run, welcoming, and way more laid back than Napa. You don't need a reservation or a dress code, just a good attitude and maybe a designated driver. Even inside the city, Sacramento has green space everywhere. For example, William Land Park in Land Park is perfect for family strolls, picnics, and hitting the zoo. Then you've got McKinley Park in East Sac, which has tennis courts, a rose garden, and a huge playground. Discovery Park, on the other hand, is where the American and Sacramento rivers meet, which is perfect for fishing, biking, or just kicking back. And if you have kids in sports, this is your city. Baseball, soccer, basketball, volleyball, swimming, wrestling, track, you name it, there's a league or a club for it here. Families are very active here. You'll see packed parks and practice fields just about every day of the week, regardless of the season. Bottom line here, if you like to stay active, be near the water, hit the mountains on the weekend, or just sip a local glass of wine on a sunny patio, Sacramento definitely delivers. And it's not just about what you can do, it's about how easy it is to do it. You don't have to plan your whole week around a weekend adventure. You can wrap up work at 5 p.m. and be paddleboarding by 5:45. That kind of access to nature without the hassle is a huge quality of life upgrade. And that's why so many people end up staying here longer than they expected. It's not just affordable compared to the coast, it's livable in a way that brings balance back into your life. More time outdoors, less time in traffic, and more space to breathe. And it's gorgeous here.
Now let's talk about cost of living, because this is where Sacramento really turns heads, especially for people relocating here from places like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, San Diego, Orange County, all of the Southern California places. Here's the reality. Sacramento is still one of the best value cities in all of California. No, it's not cheap. This isn't 2012, but when you compare what you get here to what you get in some of those other major metro cities across the state, the difference is massive. So let's break it down. As of right now, the median home price in the Sacramento metro area is hovering right around $550,000 to $575,000, depending on what part of the year and what part of the region that you're looking in. And that's for a move-in ready single family home in a decent neighborhood. Now, if you head into East Sac or the Fab 40s, you're looking at something that's gonna be 1.1 to 2.5 million for a historic high-end home. Totally different ball game, but that's a luxury product. That's not the average. But if you're open to areas like North and Thomas, Rancho Cordova, Antelope, or even parts of Elk Grove, you can still find really well-kept homes in the mid 550s up to the mid 650s. Often you're getting more square footage, a 2-car garage, a backyard, maybe even solar panels without having to compete with crazy multiple offer situations like you still see in parts of the Bay Area. And for those of you who are considering new construction, there are a lot of opportunities right now. Builders in places like Folsom Ranch, Elk Grove, Lincoln, Rockland, and El Dorado Hills are still rolling out inventory, and many of them are offering incentives to attract buyers. We're seeing interest rate buy downs, closing cost credits, backyard landscaping packages, and even full appliance packages that are being thrown in. So if you're relocating and you want something brand new, these are definitely worth checking out. You might spend a little bit more up front, but you're gaining long-term energy efficiency, smart home features, lower maintenance, and often better resale potential if you plan to move again in the next 10 or 15 years. Now let's talk renting real quick. For a single family 3-bedroom rental, you're looking somewhere between $2,400 and $3,000 a month, depending on location and upgrades, school districts, things like that. In places like East Sac, Land Park, or Midtown, those prices climb fast, especially for anything that's updated or charming. Now apartments range anywhere from about $1,500 a month for a 1-bedroom in an older complex to over $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom in a luxury Midtown or downtown building with amenities like rooftop pool or fitness center. And if you're coming from SoCal or the Bay Area, these numbers might still feel like a win, especially when you factor in the space, commuting times, and quality of life. But here's something that people don't always budget for up front. utilities. Sacramento summers are no joke, and we'll talk more about that in the weather section next, but your electric bill will spike from June through September. Most homes here rely heavily on central AC. If it's an older property without solar, you might see electricity bills between $300 and $600 a month during the peak summer months. The good news is a lot of newer construction homes with owned or leased solar, smart thermostats, or energy efficient windows and HVAC systems can help reduce some of that bill. And with how much sunshine we get here, solar actually makes a big dent in your long-term utility cost. Now, property taxes in California average anywhere from about 1.1% of the home's value. So if you have a $600,000 house, you're paying roughly about $6,600 per year. Some of these newer communities will have Melrose or CFD fees. So these are going to be special tax assessments that help fund infrastructures in the newer areas. Make sure you factor that in if you're looking in places like Folsom Ranch, Elk Grove, or even West Roseville. Now, lastly, the daily cost of living, groceries, gas, restaurant, and services like gyms or childcare tend to be about 15 to 30% lower than what you pay in the Bay Area or either Southern California. Now, keep in mind, you're still in California, so it's not a bargain basement deal, but overall, you'll feel like your dollars stretch a little bit further here, and that's a big takeaway. Now, Sacramento isn't cheap, but it's strategically affordable. You're not giving up California weather, lifestyle, or opportunity. You're just getting a little bit more value, a little bit more space, a little bit more breathing room, and a lot less traffic. Now, let's get into something that nobody loves talking about, but everybody needs to understand, which is going to be taxes and utilities, because here's the thing. Even if your mortgage payment makes sense, the true cost of living in Sacramento includes what you're paying on the back end. Property taxes, utility bills, insurance, and all the little extras that sneak up on you if you're not prepared for it. California uses what's called the 1% base property tax rate, but when you add on voter-approved bonds and local assessments, most Sacramento County homeowners end up paying somewhere between 1.1 to 1.25% of their home's assessed value annually. So let's just say you buy a $600,000 home, your annual property tax bill is likely between $6,600 and $7,500, depending on the neighborhood and whether or not there are additional bonds and assessments. But here's where it gets tricky. Newer neighborhoods often come with something called Melrose or Community Facilities District fees. These are special tax assessments that are used to fund infrastructure like schools, roads, police and fire station in growing areas. So think Folsom Ranch, North Natomas, Rancho Cordova, parts of Elk Grove, and where we're at right now in West Roseville. These fees can add up anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 per year on top of your base property tax rate. So if you're buying a brand new community, always ask your agent, hopefully us, to pull the tax rate, including the Melrose fees, before you fall in love with the home. We do that as a part of the standard process for every relocation client. Now, what about income taxes? Well, we're still in California, which has a state income tax rate that can go as high as 13.3% for some of the top earners. So most people fall somewhere in between the 6 and the 9% range. So if you're moving here from a no income tax state like Texas or Nevada or Wyoming, that's something to plan for as well. But for most of our clients moving from San Francisco, San Jose, Los Angeles, it's already baked into your financial life. You're already used to it. You're just getting more home for your money here, which overall cost of living a net positive for a lot of people who are relocating from those two areas or those two markets. Now let's move over to utilities, because Sacramento is known for one very specific thing: hot and dry summers. But if you're buying an older home without solar or energy efficient systems, your electricity bill can easily spike between $300 and $600 a month in the summertime. And that's especially true in places like Land Park, Curtis Park, or even East Sacramento, where many of the homes are historic and might not have the latest AC systems. Now, the good news is a lot of the newer homes and newer construction homes come with owned or leased solar, high efficiency air conditioning, dual pane windows, and smart thermostats that can help regulate your usage. In fact, California now requires solar on all new construction homes, which helps in the long run. So if you're buying a new construction home in Folsom Ranch, El Dorado Hills, or even Rockland, you may see a big drop in some of those summer bills. Water and sewer bills can vary depending on where you live. In Sacramento city limits, you're looking somewhere between $100 to $150 a month, depending on the usage and the services. In surrounding suburbs, it can be slightly lower or tied to a meter usage. Gas bills, that's going to be with PG&E. They tend to be low in the summertime since most of the homes are electric dominant with the AC systems, but in the wintertime, that's when people switch over to the gas heat or use of gas fireplaces. Expect that to creep back up to the $150 to $200 a month range, depending on the home size. Now, one big perk for those coming from older cities with high utility rates, Sacramento for the most part still runs its own utility district. So that's called Sacramento Municipality Utility District, which is typically cheaper than PG&E. Now, if you're in areas of Placer County or El Dorado County, you're still going to have PG&E. So that's going to be your Rocklands, your Granite Bays, your Loomises, everything up towards Auburn on the 80 side, or El Dorado Hills all the way up towards Placerville on the 50 side. We always help clients factor that into their budget. But if you are considering it, that's where Roseville, city of Roseville, is probably going to have some of the cheapest utilities in the entire Sacramento region. So keep that in mind. City of Roseville is going to be the cheapest. Then you're going to have Sacramento County, which is going to be comprised of SMUD. And then you're going to have PG&E, which is going to be the rest of Northern California. Some of you guys experience it down in the Bay Area. It's also going to be very similar to SoCal Edison or San Diego Gas and Electric if you're coming from any of those two markets. Now, let's not forget about things like trash and recycling. In most parts of Sacramento County, that's going to be around $25 to $35 a month, which is going to include weekly pickup for trash, recycling, and grease waste. So yes, your taxes and utilities in Sacramento aren't insignificant, but if you plan smart and choose the right neighborhoods, there is a lot of opportunity to save in the long run. Bottom line, understanding these numbers ahead of time puts you in a position of power. We help break down this for every single client that we work with, because the real cost of living in Sacramento isn't just about what you can afford on your monthly payment, but it's about what you're comfortable with living with those bills month after month after month.
All right, let's talk about jobs and work-life balance right here in Sacramento, because this is one of the biggest reasons people move here and they stay here. Sacramento's job market used to be known almost exclusively for one thing, and that was government work. And while that's still a major backbone of the economy, what's exciting is how much the job market has diversified over the past 10 to 15 years here. So let's break it down. First up, yes, government is still huge here. The state of California is the single largest employer in the region, with tens of thousands of people working across departments like Caltrans, the DMV, Department of Healthcare Services, Environmental Protection, and so many others. These jobs offer stability, great benefits, and decent retirement packages, which is why they're highly sought after. Then you've got the healthcare sector here, which is massive in Sacramento. We're talking Sutter Health, Kaiser Permanente, UC Davis, and Dignity Health, all of which have major campuses, hospitals, and specialty clinics throughout the entire metro area. Now, if you're in nursing, admin, mental health, biotech, or any kind of clinical role, this region is hiring and growing like crazy. And UC Davis in particular is investing heavily in medical research and technology, which opens the door for careers beyond just patient care. Education is another major pillar between California State University, Sacramento, also known as Sac State, UC Davis, Los Rios Community College District, and all of the public and private K-12 school systems. There is a ton of jobs related to academics, administration facilities, and student support. Whether you're a teacher, a counselor, or a district staffer, there are opportunities throughout the region. Now here's something that's really changed the game: remote and hybrid work. Over the past few years, Sacramento has become a landing spot for professionals who work Bay Area-based jobs, but want to live somewhere more affordable and more livable. You'd be surprised how many of our relocation clients are still working for companies in San Francisco, San Jose, or Silicon Valley, but they're logging in from their backyard in Folsom or Elk Grove. That remote-friendly lifestyle is one of Sacramento's biggest modern advantages. You get strong internet, quiet neighborhoods, and more square footage, which makes working from home actually enjoyable, not just functional. Now let's talk about trades and skilled labor. Construction is booming here, especially with all the new home development, infrastructure upgrades, and transportation projects happening across the region. Electricians, plumbers, HVAC techs, framers, general contractors. If you work with your hands, Sacramento is a gold mine right now. Even solar companies are hiring like crazy thanks to California's green building codes. All right, now let's talk commutes. Are they perfect? No. But are they LA bad? Not even close. If you live in Atomas and work downtown, your commute's about 15 to 20 minutes, even in normal traffic. Now, from Elk Grove to downtown, that's usually 25 to 45 minutes, depending on what time you leave. If you live in Roseville or Rockland and work in Folsom, that's about 20 to 30 minutes, and the roads are pretty smooth once you're outside of peak rush hour. Now, a lot of our clients are planning ahead, choosing where to live based on their hybrid work schedule, or picking neighborhoods closer to light rail or Interstate 80 or Interstate 5 access. Now, this can help cut down on the grind and the time that you're spent in your car. And here's something that you probably haven't thought about if you're from the Bay: parking. It's not terrible. Now, downtown Sacramento has garages, and lots that are reasonably priced. And if you're working in Midtown, many offices and co-working spaces offer parking as a part of your lease or job perks. So to sum it up, Sacramento's job market is more flexible, more diverse, and more livable than it used to be. Whether you're in healthcare, government trades, tech, education, or you're just looking for a city that lets you work remotely without losing your mind, this place absolutely delivers. And the best part, you don't have to sacrifice your evenings or weekends to long commutes, overcrowded trains, or hours of gridlock. You can wrap up your day and still catch the sunset on your patio or head to your kid's baseball game just on time. That kind of balance, it's definitely rare, and it's a huge part of why people move to Sacramento and they never want to leave.
All right, let's talk about schools, because if you've got kids or you plan to, this might be the deciding factor in where you live. Here's the honest truth about schools in the Sacramento area. There's a wide range of quality. Some school districts here are top tier with new campuses, great academics, and lots of parent involvement. Others, not so much. So if education matters to your family, school research should drive your neighborhood choice, not the other way around. We say this to every client we work with who has school-age kids. Let's start with the best public school districts in the greater Sacramento region. So first off, we're going to talk about Rocklin Unified School District. Rocklin Unified School District is consistently one of the highest rated districts in all of Northern California. It's known for strong academics, STEM programs, and college prep. Plus, schools like Granite Oaks Middle and Rocklin High have phenomenal reputations. A lot of young families relocate to Rocklin specifically for the school districts. Folsom Cordova Unified is another standout, especially the Folsom side. Schools like Vista del Lago and Empire Oaks Elementary have excellent ratings. Many of the campuses are newer with great access to technology and enrichment programs, so if you want a modern education environment, Folsom's tough to beat. Elk Grove Unified is one of the largest school districts in the entire state, and it's incredibly diverse. You've got standout schools like Pleasant Grove High and Toby Johnson Middle, and several elementary schools that are ranked highly. That being said, with Elk Grove being such a big or large school district, some of the school quality can vary a lot, so you'll definitely want to look at individual campuses when considering the different neighborhoods. Then you've got Roseville Joint Unified High School District. Now this covers high schools like Roseville, Granite Bay, and some parts of Antelope. Great support services, strong athletics, and good balance of academics, extracurriculars. You've got Granite Bay High and Wood Creek, which are a lot of popular choices for a lot of college-bound students. Then you've got Davis Joint Unified. Now, if you want an elite college preparatory in a small town, highly engaged community, Davis is in an entire league of its own. People move specifically to Davis just for the school districts. The high school has a ton of AP classes, elementary schools are walkable and top rated, and the parent involvement is next level. Now, if you're looking outside of public schools, Sacramento has a solid lineup of private and charter schools. Some of the best known include Jesuit High School for boys, St. Francis High School for girls, Sacramento Country Day, Bradshaw Christian, and Capital Christian. You've also got charter schools like Natomas Charter School, which has a strong performing arts program, and Fortune Schools, which focus on college readiness and underserved communities. It's not a one-size-fits-all program. There are real choices. Now let's talk higher education. Right here in Sacramento, you've got Sacramento State University, right behind me, and it has strong programs in education, nursing, business, and criminal justice. Just 25 minutes west in Davis, you've got UC Davis, a world-class research university that's ranked among some of the top public universities in the entire country. They've got everything from pre-med to engineering to veterinary sciences. It's a major draw for both students and faculty. Then you've got Sierra College in Rocklin, American River College in Sacramento, and Cosumnes River College, as well as Folsom Lake College. These are all a part of the Los Rios Community College District. So if you're looking for a 2-year degree, a transfer program, or a vocational training, the region delivers. Even you have William Jessup University in Rocklin, which offers a private faith-based education with growing set of academic tracks. It's a region with a wide range of schools, options, and if you're relocating here with kids, we'll hop on a Zoom, we'll zero in on the areas that fit your family based off of the goals, from top-tier public rated schools in Rocklin to Folsom, to private schools, alternatives to college access. You're not stuck, you've got choices here, and that's powerful.
All right, let's talk about Sacramento's weather and seasons, because this is one of the biggest lifestyle upgrades for people moving here. In short, we've got 2 modes, perfect and oven. From late September through early June, the weather here is honestly amazing. Think 60s and 70s during the day, cool mornings, sunny skies, and very little rain. It's the kind of weather that makes you want to walk your dog in the morning and sip wine on the patio by 5 p.m. Now, spring, especially March through May, is kind of the crown jewel. Everything's green, wildflowers are popping up in the foothills, and it's perfect for hiking, biking, or even heading out to the coast or Tahoe for a weekend getaway. You'll see people at every farmer's market, patios packed for brunch, and kids playing soccer or baseball all over town. Fall is another sweet spot. September through early November, that's the ideal stretch of golden light. Mid 70s to mid 80s and just enough crispness in the air to remind you it's not summer anymore. It's perfect for wine tasting in Amador County or Apple Hill trips in Placerville. In winter, it's mild. Like, you'll probably still be wearing a hoodie and jeans in January. Heck, some locals here wear flip-flops year-round. Now, we might get a handful of frosty mornings, especially in the suburbs, but snow, it doesn't happen here. Maybe every 15 years we get a dusting that melts by noon. But if you want snow, you drive up to Tahoe, which is about 90 minutes away. Super easy day trip or weekend getaway. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, summer. We're talking 95 to 108 degrees and sometimes for days or even weeks at a time. Yes, it's hot, but it's a dry heat. Thanks to something called the Delta breeze, a cooling wind that rolls in from the Bay Area in the evenings. Now, when that breeze shows up, it's a game changer. But when it doesn't, yeah, it can feel like an oven. That said, this city is built for the heat. Nearly every home has air conditioning, and new construction homes often have energy efficient systems and solar panels to offset those high power bills. Now, pools are incredibly common, especially in the suburban neighborhoods like Roseville, Elk Grove, and Rockland. And if you've got kids, you'll be spending a lot of afternoons at the local splash pads, shaded playgrounds, and indoor play gyms. Plus, everything is geared towards the season. Summer equals farmers markets in the mornings, water parks in the afternoon, and concerts in the park at night. And when it's just too hot, you're only 2 hours from the coast. Hit Santa Cruz, Half Moon Bay, or Bodega Bay for a quick cool-off weekend. So here's the local rhythm. Spring, sunny, green, blooming. Mornings are cool, afternoons are absolutely perfect. Summers are hot, dry, and pool heavy. Be ready with sunscreen and your AC. Now, fall is the golden skies, mild temps, a favorite for locals. Winters are light rain, a few frosty mornings, no snow in the city. But Tahoe's right there when you want it. Bottom line, you'll probably spend more time outside year-round here than you would in almost any other part of the country. No hurricanes, no blizzards, no tornadoes, just sunshine, blue skies, and a few triple-digit weeks that'll make you really appreciate your air conditioning. Now, another question that we do get asked about when we're talking about temps and climate and the differences here is earthquakes. A lot of people, when they think California, they think the movies, they think earthquakes. But what I can tell you is that in the last 15 years, I don't recall feeling one single earthquake or having to worry or even think about one. I can tell you, you're absolutely gonna love it here. We don't have the crazy snow and weather patterns that other parts of the country have. It's literally pure bliss year-round.
One thing that's harder to show on camera, but something that we always hear from our clients once they've lived here, is how quickly Sacramento starts to feel like home.
Yeah, it's not just about where you live, it's about who your neighbors are, where you get your morning coffee, who you run into at the farmers markets. There's a community rhythm here that's definitely real.
You'll see people waving as they walk their dogs, parents at school pickup lines actually talking to each other, front yard barbecues turning into block parties. There's a groundedness here that catches people off guard in the best of ways.
We've had people move here from LA, Seattle, Austin, even New York. And within months, they're telling us, we didn't expect to feel connected so fast. Whether it's volunteering, joining a running group, a wine club, a local church, or just getting to know your kids' teachers. There are so many different ways to plug in here.
And the cool thing is you don't need to change to fit in. Sacramento's not cliquey, it's inclusive. Whether you're single, retired, a young family, or somewhere in between, there's a place here for you.
So if community matters to you, if you want a place where your neighbors know your name, where small businesses still thrive, and where people actually look out for each other, Sacramento delivers on that.
So here's the real question that we get asked all the time. Why are so many people still moving to Sacramento?
It's not just about affordability, though that definitely helps. It's about balance.
You can build a career here, you can raise your kids here, you can still buy a home and still take your family vacations. You don't have to trade the quality of life for the opportunity.
And honestly, it just feels good here. The pace, the weather, the people, it's not too fast, not too slow, it's livable.
You've got access to nature, culture, community, jobs, all in the region. It's diverse, it's dynamic, and it's real. That's why people love coming here.
And it's why they stay here. All right, so if you're ready to explore your move to Sacramento, let's hop on a quick Zoom call.
We'll walk you through all the neighborhoods that you're potentially interested in, talk about your timeline, your budget, and give you a game plan that's tailored for you. All right, so that phone number is going to be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message, and we absolutely love it when you guys reach out to us. We love getting to know your stories, or better yet, if you're not really ready to book that appointment, we did develop an app where you can start your home search, but there's also going to be excellent resources in that app for before your move, during your move, and after you've already lived here in the greater Sacramento metro area.
All right, so that QR code's popping up. Feel free to download our app if you're not quite ready to reach out to us yet. Like he said, there's a lot of great resources in there, but we're always here for you whenever you are ready to make the move and you are ready to connect.